Hey, what's up, everybody? You're listening to a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks with me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and my co-host, Rebellious D and Trav. How you fellas doing today?
Good. Another day in paradise, man.
Oh, yeah. Trav he hit it on the head.
And on this episode, again, like I said earlier, we're celebrating Black History Month. And today's guest is Mr. Kevin Thelwell. And Kevin, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, guys. Last one so far.
That's good to hear, man. Thank you again for joining us on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. We appreciate you coming on and being our guest.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's go ahead and get the nitty gritty out of the way. What's your origin story? Who is Kevin Thelwell?
Well, I got bitten by a radioactive shark. I don't know, man. Just a dude who likes to lock himself in a double thick wall and scream sometimes, maybe paid, who knows?
Looks like Panic Room.
Yeah, little panic room,
Yeah, man, I love the setup, man. Like, it looks real professional.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's like we're actually in the studio right now looking at how everything goes down. So that's awesome, man.
Oh yeah, with how things are, with how the world is currently, this helps make things a lot easier with a lot of different kind of jobs.
I agree. So tell us, how did you get into voice acting?
Oh dang, that's a good question. What brought me into voice acting for the first time was looking at this YouTuber I watch. I think his channel's still up. Misty Cronexia was somebody I really like to watch his videos. He was a good dude. He had a little animation he was making off of a book he wrote, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna make a community event here. We're going to hold open auditions, and see how it goes for characters." And I auditioned for it. It was a really fun project, and I'm like, "Hey, nothing really happened with it at the end of the day, but I really enjoyed doing the audition. So I'm like, why don't I try to go for this further?" So I started taking some classes, suck out some advice from some friends of friends that I knew who were actors, got some really good advice, and took one step after another, moved across the country. Now we're here, we're doing stuff.
Oh man, across the country.
Oh yeah.
That's that big scary step right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, big scary step. No longer with the folks, out on your own, and it worked out pretty fine.
Yeah.
So you're out in California now, or?
Oh no, I'm in Texas actually.
Oh, you're in Texas.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
It seems like Texas is the capital of the world when it comes to voice acting. It's like if you want to get into voice acting, you need to move to Texas.
Yeah, a lot of people come here. There's a lot of studios here in Texas, all sprinkled around. A lot of commercial work too, so it's definitely a good place. Yeah.
So a lot of the roles that you've done with the Funimation studio. So was Funimation, of course, they're popular for Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Bleach. Was it something that you watched when you were younger? Like, did you watch any of the Funimation stuff, like Dragon Ball Z or anything?
Oh yeah.
So what was some of the anime that you enjoyed watching when you were growing up?
Oh man, dude, there's just so many. I watched a bunch of Soul Eater, of course. I watched all the way through when Toonami had Dragon Ball to all the way to GT, Marathon to all of that, Gundams. There's just so many shows. The Bebops, of course.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had Bo Billingsley. He was our 2-year anniversary guest, and
Wow.
all of us we're huge Cowboy Bebop fans.
Nice.
And it was crazy. It was a mind-blowing episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Full of knowledge, just dropping 3 generations, just talking about stuff, man. So it was awesome having him on as a guest. So, what anime inspired you to get into voice acting?
Hey, what anime? I mean, that first story I told you really kind of got me the ball rolling on it, but after all, you just watch enough shows, you decide to do it, you start listening to performances, you start to be able to pick out different people's voices, Like, oh, that's this guy or this guy. Oh, so hear that random guy in the back in your head for only one line. Oh, I know who that was. It's actually the guy who played this in this other show. Or like, it's just so interesting when you start really diving into how much voiceover just branches out from just anime to cartoons to heck, even like commercials. You'll hear sometimes like anime voice actors in commercials. You're like, oh wow, it blows my mind that people are just here all over the place. So you really just dissect everyone's performances and just helps kind of fuel the want to do it yourself, just the kind of drive, like especially you like watching shows, you like playing video games, almost everything in your daily life has some kind of voiceover in it, so it just becomes like this infinite like circle of passion.
Yeah,
Trav?
and it's funny because I just watched a podcast with Tara Strong, and she was talking about like the pandemic and all these actors, they they couldn't work or whatever, but for a lot of the voiceover people it was like maybe a month or two of readjusting and everybody recording at home, but really for them nothing really stopped. Like they picked up and just kept going and going, and it just really kind of shows you how vital voiceover work is, because it just doesn't get the recognition that Hollywood movies get. Versus people in cartoons or anime or radio spots or whatever it is. I mean, because I know how versatile you are. You're not just doing anime and stuff, but I believe you've done like radio commercials and different things, and there's so much work that you can do doing voiceover stuff.
Yeah, branch out and see whatever work you can get. It's really nice. Like a lot of entertainment, like you said, kind of took a halt when things kind of got a little crazy. I know like a lot of like anime and whatnot kind of halted for like maybe a month or two, but then they just started kind of picking up on themselves, like commercials and like certain video games or just audiobooks. That didn't even stop. They didn't even care because most people were working from home anyway doing that, right. So it didn't matter. Yeah.
So a question that I have for you, Kev, is because I'm a professional wrestler, and one of the things that we always talk about in wrestling is we grew up watching wrestling, we were fans, and then eventually we go on to become wrestlers. And sometimes some people get into business and it's like once they start wrestling, they stop watching wrestling, they stop being fans. Is it the same in voice acting? Like once you start voice acting, do you stop watching anime or cartoons and just only focusing on your craft, or is it different?
I definitely feel that a bit. I definitely don't watch as much as I used to, mainly because I'm so busy working on trying to get more as much as I can work. But I definitely still watch when I have a chance. I have a minute, I'll sit down, try to marathon a show here or there, like pick up a Blu-ray or just like play games. So I still do it. Yeah.
So what's some of the anime that you're watching right now?
Oh man, in terms of like this season, or I'm not sure if it's this season anymore, but I just started watching Jobless Reincarnation, and that show is like, whoa.
I ain't seen that one yet. I've heard people talk about it though on the Twitter.
Oh yeah, it's different. It's very different. Yeah. There's a lot of shows.
Currently for me, I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and Promised Neverland Season 2 just dropped. I know the Inuyasha sequel, Yashahime, I started watching that and Attack on Titan, the final season, but I kind of got backed up on that once we started doing stuff for the podcast on YouTube and whatnot. So the most recent anime that I just finished was The Great Pretender, which is a really good one that's on Netflix. Me and D, we did a review for that. And I just love the fact that it's so easy to access anime in today's world compared to how it was when we were coming up, when it's just like the only way you could really get it was if you went to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video to rent a VHS. So kids nowadays that are watching this or listening at home, you have it lucky.
No.
Oh yeah.
D?
Yeah. Question for you, Kevin. Is there any particular role that you may have felt overwhelmed that you really wanted, or is there one that you were more excited to get than the other? to be a part of?
Well, like, I've had a chance to just lend my voice as, like, you know, small parts here and there to so many different shows that I absolutely love. And even, like, some shows that I didn't much, you know, care about. But then after I, you know, did some work on it, I'm like, you know, let me check it out. And then I started loving it after giving it a chance. So...
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I can't really think of sort of something that just overwhelmed me. But I know it's a very kind of sobering feeling when you watch a show for so many years when you're younger, and then years down the road, you know, you actually look back and say, oh shoot, I got to work on that show. That would blow baby me's mind. Whoa. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
all
like,
right.
just some of the stuff that you worked on, One Piece, Fairy Tail, My Hero Academia, like those are, My Hero Academia being like one of the more recent ones. Like, these are huge shows to be on, man. So congrats on landing gigs on those shows. Like, I'm sure that it's not a challenge, but what's the word I'm looking for? It's very competitive in the world of voice acting because it's so many people that send in their tapes and whatnot in order to get casted for the role. So could you walk us through the process? Like, what do you need to do if you're trying to get a role? Like, is it easy to just, you know, record your voice and send it in, or is there a whole step-by-step system that you have to go through?
Well, for recording anime per se, you essentially get called in by the director. So essentially somebody has to already know of you to bring your stuff and say, hey, we want them on this character, or hey, we want you to audition for this character. So it's a very small, tight-knit community. So kind of weird, but you guys gotta have connections at that point, or make your own connections to be able to get people, you know who you are, and to be able to want to give you a chance on something.
So what are some of the other anime that are out there right now that you would love to lend your voice to?
Oh man, there are so many. Like, I don't know if this one got a dub or not, but like, I know Snafu is a really good show that I absolutely love, and I would love to do some kind of, you know, parts on it no matter what on that show, because it's so amazing. This show I know will probably never get a dub because it's so darn complicated, but the Monogatari series is like my favorite anime of all time, and I would love to do some stuff on that. But again, rest in peace to whoever would have to adapt the script on that, because God, it'd be a nightmare.
You know, I was kind of hoping that you would say that you would love to do some voiceover work on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's where
I've seen all of part 1 and 2. I love part 1 especially. I've not yet finished part 3. I have all the Blu-rays. My roommate loves it. I just haven't got through it yet, and I need to.
You ain't missing much.
Hey, don't diss JoJo much like that, bro. Not diss JoJo like that. It's like, bro, like, these guys do not like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's like,
Just take it easy, Banks. Take it easy.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, y'all just need to relax. Like he said, he said that he liked part 1, and he's trying to finish the rest of the series. So, like, just let him get through it.
Hey,
Trying.
We gonna let him.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
He's not up here every week having to listen to you talk about it. So, I mean,
every week.
You ruined it for us.
I know that's not true.
Oh, it's true.
It's like, if you love something, then you're gonna continue to talk about it because it's something that you love, it's something that you're passionate about. And I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I love My Hero Academia, so I'm always gonna talk about those too.
Sometimes you can love too hard and you suffocate it, man. You suffocate it. You gotta let go.
No,
that's right.
This
He's
right.
Right. You're right. You're both right.
See? Ah. You hear that?
I
I'm
do
right.
the same thing.
Trav.
So,
go ahead, D.
Yeah, Kevin, I want to know: is there any particular, like, a bigger named voice actor, or are there any people you take inspiration from, like, now, like, kind of like? I guess now when you watch anime, do you watch it to, like, listen to people's voices, see different pitches that they hit, or anything like that?
I would think I mostly just watch anime just to, you know, enjoy it myself as a fan. But then if there is, you know, an English dub, I'll usually try to get the English dub first if it's easily available.
Okay.
And at that point, then I'll be like thinking, oh, what performances did this person do, or how did they, attack this scene in a certain way, or just how's the direction in this, or how do people play off each other? So yeah.
Okay. I mean, because I know, like, I'm a hand drawing artist and things like that. So if I look at somebody's drawing, sometimes I try to adapt it to my own style. So I figured your craft, it is an art, but sometimes you take pieces from other games, yours better. So that's why I asked the question.
Yeah,
man.
Something when I can here and there,
Oh yeah,
my own craft.
That's it.
Trav?
Banks. Oh, Trav.
Now, I got like an insider-ish kind of question, but so there's always a dub versus sub battle, if you will, right? For a long time, I was always, sub. Dubs are trash, whatever. Outside of the 1, 2, or 3 that I did enjoy. But as I've gotten older and now I got kids and stuff like that, I find myself just rather watching the dub and then being like, oh, this is a really good dub, and I'm discovering more of these dubs that I actually really enjoy. But as a voice actor, right, and I'm gonna bring up an example, and this ain't to call out any in particular anime, but like I'm a huge Death Note fan, right?
I knew we was going this route.
I didn't know if you've ever seen Death Note or anything, but the dub is very bad to a lot of the fans, and I do not like the dub neither. But I don't necessarily think that the voice actors are bad in the dub. I think that the way they chose to go about recreating it for the English version was very poor. Do you ever find situations like that where it's not necessarily you maybe, but you can kind of watch something and be like, that's really not on the actors. That's on the decisions they chose to make for how they English did the characters, if I'm making sense.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely an interesting one. To try to answer that in the, most kosher way, safely possible there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there will be times that even like outside of anime and just regular movies and stuff, where you'll see, I know this actor is like really, really great, but why did they choose to use this take of all ones? Like, you can't blame the actor for, to takes all the time. Sometimes this is the vision of the director. This is the director's project. That's their baby, not the actors. You're just one of the pieces of the part, And outside of that, there goes into who's, writing the script. Sometimes if it's like an established property, there could be like the actual owners of the IP who have their say in it too, who need to, we want it to sound this particular way. Director, your job to get it to sound like how we want it. So there might be multiple hands in the pot. So yeah, you can't always blame the actor.
That's pretty good insight. I like that.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
I think because we've all seen movies where it's like, that it's not the actor's fault that the movie's bad. You know what I mean? Like there were some bad decisions made.
Like Wonder Woman?
Like
There we go.
Oh no.
There we go. So a question that I wanted to ask you was, like, how do you feel about seeing the more outpour and diversity that we have in anime now, and how we have Black characters in anime that actually look like us? When you see that, does it make you want to go out and audition for that particular character?
Oh yeah. I mean, like one of the reasons why I even decided to, try to pursue anime in general is because when I was considering it, I could not find like a single person, of my ethnicity who was doing anime. I tried to look, I just could not find anyone. Now, I'm sure they were there. They might have been doing like other characters, but none from any properties that I could see, nothing from the digging I did. So I'm like, hey, this is something that's not being filled really. I want to try, and jump in on that. And, over the years, I've gotten closer and closer to that. And there are tons of people too who are showing, the representation that we really want to see. And that's really awesome. Not just from like Black, but like all kinds of ethnicities.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because I feel like when we were growing up, I don't think I can name you a black voice actor outside of Phil Lamar, to be quite honest with you. Like you said, there really wasn't any at all.
Probably Bo.
Yeah, you
Bo
had
was probably the only
Bo
other one, right?
Billingsley,
well, you
yeah.
had,
Yeah, 'cause he's brown for
Cree
long.
Summer, Kevin Michael Richardson.
Well, damn, don't
like
blow up
Gary
my
Payton.
statement now, man.
Well, I think.
Well, I mean, it's still
Well, bro, I
that's
think-
still only 4.
Yeah, it's
Well,
a
I'm just-
handful.
No.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a
it's
handful.
because I'm black. It's like when
Right,
I was
yeah.
growing up, I always looked to see, if there were black voice actors and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, too, like there were a lot of times where you would have black characters in anime, and they were usually voiced by a white person. Like I know, I believe it was Commander Black in the original Dragon Ball. Christopher Sabat voiced him. You know what I'm saying? So, growing up, like when I was in my teens, I definitely checked that stuff out to see, who was voicing who. Like that's how I found out about Cleveland being voiced by a white man and not a black guy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's definitely something that you look into if you're into that type of stuff. But since it is Black History Month, and we have you on, Kev. Who are some of your favorite black anime characters?
Ooh, favorite black anime characters, dang. Well, let's see. He's a new one, but absolutely love him in Fire Force. Ogun's top tier. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's where you were going with that.
And
But he's newer.
Banks finally started watching it.
Yeah, I just
Got him on the
I haven't
train
got that far
finally.
yet.
So good.
Yeah.
Such a good show. There's Ogun, if we were to bring it back a little bit, in One Piece. I'm trying to remember saying the name right. Is it Aokiji? I think. He is nice. He's actually I think he's my favorite character in One Piece, period. He's so nice.
Interesting.
Let me see here. And there just really aren't that many. Like,
Yeah.
Kevin, real quick, how do you feel about Toe from Bleach?
Tozen?
Yep.
It's
I dig
cool if you didn't watch Bleach. It's cool.
No, I did. I did. Lake Mundo arc's the best arc by far. Don't at me. I dig it. He's one of my favorite characters as well. Like Bleach had a lot of representation in it, just from like so many different varieties that. Oh, Bleach did a good job. Bleach was before its time, honestly. Can we get more Bleach? We get more Bleach, right? I think we are.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
2022?
Yeah, 100-Year War finally getting that arc.
Oh wow.
I'm ready.
Or it's 1,000 years. Is it
It's
100-Year War or 1,000-Year
1,000
War?
years.
1,000 year, I think.
Okay.
What about you,
Okay.
D? Who are some of your favorites?
Is it okay if I claim Black? Is that cool? Can we claim him? like Gray?
Piccolo? Pycon?
Give me that black boxer that Goku fought in the world tournament back there.
Oh,
Remember that guy?
God.
skip over my man Oob like that? Crazy.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh wow. Ooh. If we can claim him, isn't he Indian?
Yeah, he's.
Oh man.
But
Come on, D, man. It's
give me
black card away, bro.
I mean, no, whoa, bro, give me Tozen. It's like design goes. Tozen was one of my favorites. In black representation, he just I didn't really care for his story, like the way it ended. I mean, it was cool at first. He was a blind, and his best friend was a giant dog. That was kind of catchy. But he's probably one of my favorites off the top. And Jet, I'm claiming him. Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we talked about this before. Back in the day, you had to claim people. Like we talked about,
Piccolo.
like Piccolo, Jet, Skeeter from Doug. Like
Yeah, you didn't have a.
Yeah, and we knew
like, you
Skeeter
didn't
was
have any.
black.
Yeah.
Skeeter was black.
He was at the cookout. We know.
Yeah, of
Me-
course.
Goliath.
Give me the little black girl from the Kids Next Door.
Oh yeah.
I'll take her too.
Yeah.
I'll
Number 5.
Yep.
Yeah, number 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Is that a 4?
Goliath from Gargoyles. Voiced by Keith
Yeah,
David.
Keith David. Yup.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
voiced
might as well
Spawn.
be.
Come a long way, really. So.
Mhm. Knows
Trav,
that,
Trav, was that all you had?
Bro, I was about to say, you gonna ask me? Do I get to answer that question?
Hey, what? And you said Keith David. I was just like, is that all you gonna say? All right.
Nah. Well, we talked about it before. We were talking about Bleach being a little bit ahead of its time with the representation, but Naruto Shippuden, I mean, I feel like they really introduced quite a number of, not even just black characters, but key important black characters to the story.
That's a good point, Trav. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
Not
you.
bad.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, no question.
Yeah, man, because remember, because when I just started watching, well, I finished Shippuden last year, and when I first saw Killer B, I was just like, yo, like, who is this dude? Like, I thought he was cool as hell. And as soon as I found out who the voice actor was, I slid right in his DMs, and we got Katero up here on the podcast. And like that it was cool. Like Killer B is one of my favorites. The Raikage. You said what?
I was A, the Raikage.
Raikage. What did I say?
Yeah,
Raikage.
No, I'm just saying his name is A.
Oh yeah,
That was
okay.
just
I was about to say,
his name,
okay. I was like, I know I said his name right.
Yeah.
And then also from Tiger and Bunny,
Yeah.
Fire Emblem. He's a character that I like because of the representation. One, he's black, and then it gives representation to the LGBT, and we get more on his backstory and the Tiger and Bunny Uprising movie, the second movie. So like those are some of my favorites. I know a lot of people always joke around and say Piccolo is one of their favorites, but yeah, Piccolo's invited to the cookout.
Always.
Yeah, he has to be. Has to be, man. That's what we had back in the day, man.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So Kev, what are some things that you do when you're not recording? Like, what are some fun activities that you like to do?
Oh man, I mean, instead of watching more shows and just gaming my head off, man. I don't know. I like to write. I dabble in writing some stories here. Turn like one of them into like a short web novel. Web comic is the right word. But God, it's not into like a web novel instead. We're working on it. Just hobbying it up, and then after I'm done with that, go right back to gaming. I'm like 20 hours into like a Xenoblade Chronicles 1 playthrough.
Okay.
Trying to get through that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the game right there.
That's a good game.
Good
Hey.
stuff, man.
My boy Banks finally
Man.
picked up Persona 5.
And I'm loving it.
Ooh,
Huh?
that's
Got
on my
down with it?
list.
Hey, it's
I gotta
good
play
game.
that one. I
Oh
just
yeah, you
beat
gotta
this
play
one.
that one.
Oh yeah.
The music in it is fun. The story.
Hmm?
It's if I can compare it to anything, it's pretty much a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game. Like for real. Like the personas are like the stands that they have in that series, and just having the ability to do whatever you want, like to make money. Like it's the truth. I mean, it is just like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I mean,
Are you coming at me right now?
It's not,
I don't
just
understand.
I don't like you shaking your head because I mentioned JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, man. I feel like you're embarrassing me in front of our new friend.
I thought I had. I'm sorry. I thought I had to sneeze. I did.
but that's what we got to deal with JoJo. How could you like JoJo if every time you did something, he'd be like, you know what? That's kind of like JoJo.
Oh well, I'm glad. Hey, Trav, like it. Kev, while we have you, what are your
Piece as an anime?
you like? I mean, one out of 10, 10 being the high. What do you give it?
Oh, like I guess I'd give it like a solid 8 because
There you go.
it is never ending. But like it never fails to as much filler as they have, as much as like the same story beats they hit, they always find some new way to just tear at your heart.
Exactly.
I'm a sucker for those kind of things.
Dude,
Can't
you
get
know how
enough.
many I've easily cried on like 5 arcs from One
Oh, yeah.
Piece, man. I don't know. And it's literally they rinse and recycle, the story of friendship. We gotta save it.
Yeah.
And I gets me every time, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the way they not love the fact that Zolo is a complete badass, but he has zero sense of direction. It's so funny over and over. Like, this guy's lost and he can't do it.
I just couldn't get into One Piece. I'm sorry.
Here.
Aw, dude.
I was wondering. I thought you left the chat.
I tried.
Left the meeting.
I got to like episode 70 something, and I mean, like, it's okay. Like, I stopped watching it when I was younger, and I had asked D. I was just like, so when does it really start getting good? And like, this dude tells me it starts getting good like after what happens to Trace, and then I'm like, bro, like that's 200 episodes. So you telling me I gotta get through 200 episodes before it starts to get
Oh,
good?
That's
Ace.
the-
Oh.
Yeah, he
I mean,
called him
it's
Trace, I
yeah,
think.
exactly. No. I mean, it really picked up after that, but I didn't want to spoil it. I can't spoil it for you.
We can't
gotta watch
say,
it.
you know, why, but I'm honestly like, it picked up from like the first few episodes in my opinion, but you know, that's
Yeah,
just
I mean,
me.
it takes it a whole nother level. When they reunite,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just everybody's you know,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
badass. I don't know how else to say it, so.
I don't know.
But it's okay, JoJo.
Good.
John Joestar.
I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, like same thing. Well, because they were the big three: One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. And when they all came out around the same time, like I was more into Bleach when I was younger. And you know, as I got older, I got more into Shippuden afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like One Piece is okay, but I mean, it's like it's over. It's over what 900 episodes. So.
Get into, I think, almost like that.
Yeah. I mean, they've dubbed up to 600 and they're in the 600s for the dub because I'm pretty much caught up on the dub. So
I need to catch up. Oh jeez.
Yeah.
It's okay, guys.
But yeah, I was about to say, you know, Kevin, we don't want to keep you, you know, super long, but dude, we would love to have you back on if you know, you wouldn't mind coming back on and chatting with us again and
Sure.
You know, nerding out with us a little bit. We can stare at that vocal booth that you got going on.
Yeah, I don't mind hanging. It's nice and good talk.
Cool.
Oh yeah, man.
Thanks again for joining us, man. Like I appreciate you responding back after I slid in your email DMs. There we go.
Yeah.
So before we let you go, tell everybody in social media land where they can find Mr. Kevin Thelwell at.
Real easy. At Kevin D. Thelwell on Twitter. And yeah, I got my website, kevinthelwell.com. Those are the best places to see where I'm at, what I'm doing.
Cool. And with that being said, thank you everybody for listening or watching this brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. We hope that you all enjoyed it with us. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe button and comment and tell us if you like the episode or not. And we'll see you next time. But before we go, D, tell everybody in social media land where they can find you at.
That's gonna be rebellious _D23 at.
That's right. And you know, your boy, you can find me, Trav, at ZK Audio on the Instagram.
And you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me on Facebook by typing in Benjamin Banks, and I should be the first person to pop up. If not, I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. And also make sure that you follow all of the Leveling Up with social media. Make sure that you follow all of the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks. And if you're feeling generous and would love to donate to our Patreon, it's at Leveling Up Banks. We'll see you next time. Thank you again for listening to this episode. And remember to always keep your pinky up. Peace.
Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video and get notified every time we upload a new one by subscribing and ticking the bell icon. You can also listen to the full episode by searching for Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks on your favorite podcast app. If you'd like to help support more great content like this, be sure to check us out on Patreon. We'll have the link posted in the description below. Thanks for listening, and see you on the next episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.